into other states, perhaps? And where would we be looking next to see this battle perhaps turn into a war over the broader congressional map?
Fortunately, I do see that being a problem. I think that by and large, again, I feel as though gerrymandering is wrong no matter which party is doing it, and conservative values do not want this overreach, this federal takeover of our elections. And so I do find it to be really frustrating just as an American citizen, because what's happening here is that we're losing the competitive seats, right? This system and how they're structuring it, whether it's Gavin Newsom or Governor Abbott, they're taking away competitive seats to have sure assurances. And that's what Donald Trump asked him to do, right? Donald Trump asked him, he believes he's entitled to 5 seats in Texas. But what that's doing is it's eliminating the American people's voice to have competitive races and elections. And that's the disconnect, is because both California and Texas have become more purple over the years. And people in campaigns, the one thing they don't like is having competitive races, and they want a sure thing. And we as the American public should be frustrated by that and should be concerned about it trickling into other states. You know, some have different constitutions, right? So this is not necessarily like okay, Ohio, they already have it planned. It's a part of their constitution to look over their state maps, their congressional maps. But you can see Illinois going to do this. If California is not able to do or get the amount of seats that they want to get to counter Donald Trump, Illinois may step in. And so Indiana may step in. And I think this creates a trickle effect that could be damaging to us as a nation and makes it even more polarizing, if you can imagine, than we are right now. And I don't want to see that happen.
Including Republicans, and why they need to do this sort of sales campaign on the road.
They definitely need to be organized in their messaging, because early polling showed that the American people were not happy with the Big Beautiful Bill, largely because of the cuts to healthcare programs that have been largely popular. So this effort, I think, is twofold, sending J.D. Vance out there. He is pretty intelligent, and so he can speak to, here are the numbers that they're seeing. The part of it, too, there is that these impacts are not going to be felt directly just yet. So a lot of it is kind of semantics. It's Democrats versus Republicans. Democrats telling you that, you know, you're going to be hurting. Republicans are saying that 85% of earners or the top bottom 85% of earners are going to be benefiting from the tax cuts. So it's basically a messaging war right now. And Republicans feel like they need to get out ahead of it because they're currently losing that messaging war. I also think that sending J.D. Vance out there is to keep him kind of out of what was happening earlier this week with Zelensky coming to D.C., with the conversations regarding Ukraine, just because he has been pretty adamant about America not being involved. And so the switch that Trump has taken, the president has taken on that message, there's that divide. And so rather than show it so glaringly, they're separating the two to have him go tout around the country about the Big Beautiful Bill, while the president is trying to show his foreign policy chops here in the United States. So I think there's twofold to the tactic of sending J.D. Vance out to Georgia. Have waned on him, but that doesn't mean that they're going to become Democratic voters. So you have to appeal to them as well. And so for Republican leadership and for those who are running for office in the Republican ballots, they need to be thinking, how do I message and how do I convince people who are looking to vote for Republicans, who are more pragmatic, speak to them about what they're doing for their communities, talk more locally, and to try and avoid some of the fray that Donald Trump tends to swarm the conversation in. That'll be their best ticket to winning and to fending off the Democratic push.
All right, our political panel today, Maura Gillespie and Julie Roginski. We thank you so much for being with us for both hours of Balance of Power.